Hey, what's going on? Welcome to a special little quick hit half minutes episode 8 here. I'm not doing an interview episode that week, and reason being, I'm on family vacation and I am taking a little break, so I'm not going to go through the full process of the interview podcast this week. Having said that, I still wanted to give you guys a little something and not leave you hanging. So one thing, if you're newer to the podcast, I have some recommendations for episodes you should go listen to get you through this week until we have a regular scheduled interview next Tuesday. And for instance, just the episode 36 as well as 35, two recent ones, I've been getting a lot of good feedback. 36 is with the Evans brothers, who moved to a ski town for that lifestyle. But they're also entrepreneurs and started a really successful coffee brand. And they're balancing that lifestyle with entrepreneurship versus living in a ski town, which can be tricky. And really great guys. Very fun interview. I did that in person when I was on my recent trip to Sandpoint, Idaho. So definitely check that out. Also, right before the episode 35 with Timmy O'Neill, professional rock climber, crazy life story, and has a really unique and entertaining perspective on life, and just another really great guy. And then, some past episodes I've gotten a lot of great feedback on. Episode 25 with Dave Nelson. And then also episodes 13 and 14, which are two-parters for my interview with Rob Harsh. And that is one of the more unbelievable stories you'll hear. Rob is an inspiring individual that will leave you almost breathless sometimes when you hear what he's gone through and how he's come out on the other end. So 100% check that one out. And then if you want to go back to the very beginning, episode 2 with my good friend Kyle Barrett, really great feedback on that. People really responded and it resonated. And Kyle is just one of those guys that you can connect with, and you'll be able to tell that pretty quickly. And then number 5, Jeff Evans, who is just a remarkable person. He led the first blind person up Mount Everest, and crazy. He's a crazy guy who lives this life of adventure, but he also gives back in all these great ways. So those are just some ones to go check out. Check them all out. Honestly, each and every interview that I've posted, I truly in my heart enjoyed, and they're great people. If they weren't, I wouldn't put them up there. So that's just a little thing to keep you going if you want to go check out some interviews. And then I just want to let you know we have some great things lined up. In a week from today, when we get back to the interview podcast, I have an awesome person lined up, and that is Brian McClintock, who, if you remember the documentary, and it's still on Netflix, so I would suggest checking this out before the interview comes up, but the movie Psalm. And it is a documentary that follows a group of 4, I believe it's 4 people who are getting ready to go take the Master Sommelier test. And they go through that process, and you see how ridiculously hard it is. Very entertaining, and a really unique and great perspective on just a lifestyle that most people aren't aware of at all. And this profession, what goes into it to become the master. There's about 150 in the US, if I remember what Brian told me correctly, 150 only in the US. And during that documentary, when they go to take the test, I believe it was 50 people took it and only 6 passed. And these aren't just people who are like, oh, I just want to get into the wine business. These are people who have been in it. They're already advanced sommeliers, and now they're going after this master's test. So they really know their stuff, and only 6 out of 50 passed the test. So it's a very great look into how absurd that process is. And now I connected with Brian, and it's been about 8 or 10 years since that test he's passed, and it was such a fun conversation. You guys are absolutely going to love it. It was one of the more fun ones I really have had. He's a great guy, and he lives a pretty great life right now, but very down to earth. I wasn't sure, I had a feeling just through the movie that he was going to be a pretty normal guy. But when you think of, the people really into the wine and master sommeliers, you're always a little skeptical that they might be a little highbrow or something like that, and could not be further from the truth with Brian. He's an awesome dude, and he provided a really great conversation. So I'm very pumped to set that out. And then I also had a really fun experience where last Friday, and I posted this on my Instagram account, but I did a interview while driving a car, and the passenger in the back seat was my interviewee, and we drove around for about an hour and had a fantastic conversation, another interview. So that'll be a week from Brian's, and those are just two very great episodes that I know you're really going to enjoy. So we have awesome things coming up, and again, this is going to be a quick episode. I just wanted to at least, check in, not leave you hanging. And I just want to send some really good vibes your way right now, because I'm on vacation and I am taking it a little easy. But at the same time, I've been doing a ton of personal development work lately and a lot of exercises. And I'm keeping that going through this vacation, because typically when I go on vacation, I completely break off of any routine I have going. And what's that lead to? Typically, when I get back the next week, I don't really do those routines again. And maybe Wednesday the following week, I'll start doing something. Then next thing you know, it's the weekend. And then it's a hard thing to get back into sometimes. So the way I've been going and working really hard at things, that I am keeping this going. So I'm not completely breaking with what I'm doing. And, in the future, that might be something that I won't have to do. But right now I'm so laser focused at what I'm doing and building that I don't have can't come up with the right word here. But with the opportunity I have in front of me and who I'm working with and what I'm doing, I'm not going to give up anytime. I'll still go on vacation, take it a little easy this week, but I'm still waking up and I'm doing some work and I'm getting my workout in to stay in that mode to keep me hungry and keep me going. And before I flew out on 9 a.m., I woke up and worked out. And that's not to sound like a hardo or anything, but it's because I just want to stay in that mode, because it was a Friday I flew out. So I wanted to keep that going, because those are days I work out. So I left for the airport at 9. Sorry, I didn't have to fly out at 9. I didn't get up at like 4. That would be a little ridiculous, but it's one of those things where I am keeping on the gas pedal. And right now, again, I've done a lot of work, and I'll talk on that more at another Path Minutes, but just some clarification and really working at that morning routine. And that's why I'm keeping this going, because I'm not breaking off. So I just want to send some positive vibes your way. I really do. And if you're working at that morning routine, keep doing it. Don't stop. And especially if you're just starting out, and if you're doing a little vacation, a lot of people are this time of year, try to keep at it. Really try to keep it going so you don't fall off, because we all know when you fall off, it is very easy to stay off. It's much easier to stay off than to get back on. So keep it going. And again, you know what? I encourage you just to have a great day. Throw on a song that just pumps you up. For me, right now, I'm just feeling probably Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, Good Vibrations. And if there weren't weird licensing things, I would play that as the outro to this episode. But I think I have some pretty great music to end it, so I'll throw that up for you. But go play a song just to get you happy. I'm just in a great mood, and you should be too. So with that, I'm just going to end things. I'll see you next Tuesday with the interview with Brian. Go to Netflix. It's still on there, and check out the documentary. I'll put it in the show notes so you don't have to try to remember it off name. But with that, again, have a great day, and don't wait. Take action. I will see you next time.